I know it. Yeah. You get them tater chips and soda pop. I thought I just said that. Good evening, Junkyard. Well, for a lack of better term, I didn't do jack squat today. Oh, I know. She's not going to seek re-election. Jesus Christ, she's 80-some years old. They had to just put her in prison. Hello, Tonkin. Come on. Come on. Okay, then don't come on. Come here. Come on. Get over here. Come on. I say, Papa, come on. Get up here. Come on. That's right. They're going to trade in all them cop cars, put them on camels. Come on. Get up here. Oh, yeah. Oh, pretty girl. Yeah. All right, then don't sit down. Skayla. No, I didn't do jack squat today. I took our son to work. He's working at a house doing some remodeling in town, and then he's working downtown at a business. So I had to go pick him up from that job, brought him home. And then after he cleaned up, I took him to the other job. And he'll probably be calling around 8:45 telling me he's out of work. So. I know she can't compete with. Well, it's kind of hard to compete with the commies when you're drunk all day, anyways. You know. Uh, you know what I find odd and peculiar about her husband and that whole, guy in the underwear and the glass, hammer. If you look at the evidence, all the cameras were shut off. But the window, all the glass was on the outside. There was no glass inside, which means it was broken from the inside. He didn't break in. He let him in. Come on. He brought him there, most likely. Get up here. Come on. Get up here. You want to get up here and snuggle? Come on. Come on. All right. No. Not going to beg you. Yeah, the vanilla hammer. All right. I got some down here. Hey, little kid, I got some food stamps. Come down here. Yeah. I think he does work like a Guatemalan. Uh, at least that is a refreshing note. That Somalian didn't get in Minnesota or Minneapolis, whatever hell that was at, whatever city that was at, as the mayor. That was kind of, you know, I figured he was going to get in because that's how them bleeding heart liberals are out there. Yeah. This guy right here. Now, doesn't that guy look like duck formed over? He looks like a zombie. I'm afraid he'd start eating your face off in you or something. That's just me. Oh, she left on a run, man. She left so fast that the flame went out on the torch. Smoke them if you got them. I don't know. It said I didn't have any internet. I had to. I come back in twice and couldn't do it. I had to start my internet again. And I don't know why. Bastards. Bastards. It is 43 right now. At 3 o'clock, it was 62. So we lost 19 degrees already in 5 hours. It's going to be chilling. It's supposed to be like 19 degrees Monday. Ew. Go ahead and rub it in. I still got to get my snowblower running. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Put them out. That's right. She goes out again. If the internet goes out again, I ain't coming back. I'm just going to shut it down. I've already had all the aggravation I can stand for one night with this. I don't understand it because nobody's running any internet but me. I mean, the TVs are on, but that's nothing. There's nobody running tablets. Kathy's not on the computer. Yeah, probably. Did he ever move to the pawn shop? I don't know. I thought he'd move there, then, the missus could get a job down there, and other than working where she was at before, she could work there, then she could pull a couple of shifts at the pawn shop. Musk is getting a pay raise. $1 trillion salary. That's for the T. That's right. Yeah. Did he break $1 trillion? Did he? I know. $490 billion is what they say. I know it's got to be tough. Knowing that you can go any place you want and buy anything you want and not have to worry about the price. Yeah, that's got to be tough. Now just think if he'd have bought 5 or 25 billion or $50 billion worth of gold a year ago. How much was gold prices a year ago? Let's see. Gold was $1,518.41 in 2020 at the open of the year. At the end of the year in 2020, it was $1,900. Right now, gold is $4,014.89 an ounce. I don't think. Hey, Teddy Shoes, you old snuggle bunny, you. Come on, Spirit. Yeah. So if he'd have bought $5 or $10 billion worth of gold, come on, get up here. Kenny's up here. You want to see Kenny? Come on. Say hi, Kenny. No, you don't want to say hi. Okay. Did you want to say hi, Kenny? Well, I guess I'm out of here, people. Oh, hello. Yeah. Why would I call you? No, I didn't. I didn't see that comment. I didn't. That's what you wrote this morning. You gonna be home today? That's what. Oh. Well, I thought I was going to see her on the 16th. I am. Are you gonna be there? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If I'm not sick, I'll be there too. Hey, everybody, it's Kevin. Say hi, Kevin. They don't want to say hi to you. I'm on a live stream. I have no idea. Oh. Well, I will be there on the 16th. All gussied up and everything. I might even shave for that auspicious occasion. I might. I might get up there and just praise. I'll be thumping that Bible. I love you too. But you notice he wasn't watching the live stream, right? Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Yeah. Oh, Junkyard and Kenny said hello. Yeah. Huh. I have to go back through my comments from this morning, but I didn't see half the shit he just told me on the phone that he wrote. Excuse my language. Did you, Junkyard? I mean, you was there. I know he said church. That's right. Remember, I almost had to beat it out of him. What are you talking about on the 16th at 10 o'clock? How many times did I ask him? 3 or 4. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Evidently, he's not too fast. I keep telling you guys, I got all the brains and all the looks. Yeah. I do have to go back and read the chat. I'm probably going to have to copy and paste it and send it to him so he can read what he wrote. I mean, you know, I think it's the old timers and dementia that's getting to him. No, that ain't going to happen. What was funny is one time, before I had my knee operated on, the first knee, we went down there and we stayed the night down there in a hotel, Kathy and I. But we went to his house and he said, "Hey, let's." They were going to cook dinner, grill hot dogs over the open fire, which I thought was a pretty good idea because I like hot dogs. And they wanted some mac and cheese, macaroni salad, coleslaw, and stuff like that. So Kevin and I was going to the store, and he wanted to stop and talk to a friend of his. No, on my left leg, my first knee that got replaced. Anyways, we were there, and he wanted to go talk to a friend. So I got in this car with him, and we went to go see his friend. And I got out of the car, and I had to grab my walker because I was using a walker to walk. And I strolled up the driveway, and Kevin had walked around the back side of the house. And about that time, this guy's wife come out. And she said, "Oh my God, Kevin, what happened to you?" Now, I was a little upset because I thought I'm damn better looking than Kevin, but me doing what I do best and quick on my feet thinking, I told her. I fell down a flight of steps and I hurt my leg really bad. They're going to have to do surgery. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, I will be after the surgery. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." About that time, Kevin and her husband come walking through the garage. They come through the back door of the garage and come walking through as I'm standing out there. And she looks at him and looks at me, and I couldn't help myself. I thought it was funny. You're right. Newsflash. Blue wins blue states. Like he thought anybody else was going to win, you know? Caught in the cookie jar. Oh, look at that. Here he is. Oh, you're on tonight. Huh. Well, it's nice that you could join us after you rudely interrupted our live stream. I mean, a devout follower of the channel would have known I was on. And, Dale knew I was on. Junkyard and Skeeta and Tammy, they knew I was on. Plus the 4 other people that knew I was on, besides you. You didn't know I was on. Yeah. And Tammy and Junkyard did say hi, Kevin. Hi again. A devotee, you're right. Ah. Well, good evening, Bigfoot walking tall. Yeah. Yeah, I know he had to ask his wife if he could, can I use some of the internet, please? I want to get on the internet. What's the password, honey? Yeah. She changed the password on the internet. She does it every night. That way Kevin can't get on, Facebook Marketplace and buy John Deere's and Cub Cadets while everybody's sleeping. Well, they said walking tall. They didn't say Bigfoot. They were talking about Buford Pusser. What about Sasquatch Howells? Where's he at? I haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah, I know he's just a little feller. Yeah, yeah, I bet it was. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did they bury him? I mean, we didn't find no body. I would not doubt it. Nobody will think of this word. No. Anyways. Oh. I was talking about that other um, snowblower that I got. And this is that's what the engine looks like. It's a 208cc. It's got a 110 starter on it, and it's got like 3 switches that to turn it off with. Well, I said that because they don't normally find Bigfoot bodies. That's why I said it. Brand new tires on it, everything. What happened is the auger must have took a dump or something, or the bearings did. The guy took it apart and then he passed away. Well, I would apologize to him, but I ain't a gonna. You know, because I'm just that way. You go find him, dig him up, pump his air, his lungs full of air, and get his heart started again, and I'll tell him in person I'm sorry. But until then, you know. Anyway, somebody offered me $50 for that engine. I just put a big, I put the emoji out there with the tears coming out of its eyes and it's laughing. I did like 10 or 15 of those emojis and sent it back to him. No. Uh, anyways, I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Got an inch of snow coming Sunday. Inch of snow on Sunday. Be out there running my snow plow or snow blower probably. Yeah. Hopefully. Well, yeah. I got my Craftsman snowblower is set up the exact same way as that one I just bought. It's exactly the same in different colors. It's made. It's a Sears Craftsman, but it's made in the same factory with MTD, and that's not even an MTD. That's something else, a Power Pack or something like that. So, but they're all made the same. They're all made with the same parts. They're just painted different and put different labels on them. So, if worse comes down to worse, I'll pull that engine off in the new snow blower that I got, and I'll put it on the old snow blower. And I'll just have, get the other engine working. So, I mean, the one that's on the Craftsman right now, it does run. It runs pretty good, but I think it needs some carburetor work. It'll run for a little bit, and then if it bogs down, it'll die. And then you got to. It's hard to start. You get it started, but I think, like I said, I think it needs carburetor work, and I just don't have the dexterity in my fingers to do it. So A friend of mine, he works on that stuff. I'll have him work on it and get it done. He don't charge much. And while he's doing that, I'll have him do the wood chipper, get that one done. Because I have nothing into them. The wood chipper, I got $5 into it. If I have him put $30 into it, and I pay him $25 or $30, I got $65 into it, and I can still get $125 for it. I'd rather not put any money into it and then make some money, but like the golf cart. I give $125 for it, paid the commission on it, paid the taxes, so I was into it for about $150. Brought it home, pumped up the tires, and picked the trash out of it, and put it up for sale, and got $400 for it. I had it 36 hours at the house. That was good money. Guy said, battery's any good? I said, I lifted up the seat because I was going to plug it in. I lifted up the seat and I looked at the batteries and I seen they were all swelled up. I said, there ain't no sense even putting a charger on it because, them batteries ain't going to take a charge anyways. I said, I pumped up the tires and I pushed her back where she's at, and that was a day ago. I said I was going to buy new batteries for it, but I wanted to see if I could sell it first. If I could sell it, I was going to sell it. If I couldn't sell it, I was going to put batteries in it and drive it. And that's what we did. We sold it. I thought you were out there.
No, they didn't even bring us in here.
Huh?
They never even brought us in here. It takes tonight.
Oh. Well, yeah, but you got to have something to push that snow blade. I don't have a garden tractor to push a snow blade. I thought about buying a snow blade out of, there's one in Snowplow. There's one in Monroe. A guy wants $25 for it. It's only, I think it's 18 inches tall and 36 inches wide. And I thought about buying that and then putting that on the front of my snow blower, the red one with the engine, taking the chute off of it, put a side, a couple of swivels on it, and I got them, pneumatic 8-inch swivels, and then mount the snow blade on the front with a lift on it, so you can lift it up, so you're not dragging the snow blade, and let it do the pushing. That's according to, it's a 6.5 or 7 horse that's on there. It's bigger than the one that's on the Craftsman, because that's only a 5 horse. I know, I know. I was going to buy a nice garden tractor. 24 horse MTD. Nice. Best you can get. Better than damn John Deere's or, Cub Cadets or Aaron's or Simplicities or, a high quality riding lawnmower, garden tractor. Uh, well, that's your mistake. You know, that's because you were coddled and given everything when you was growing up. I, on the other hand, had to work for everything. And, our dad taught me you don't throw away nothing if it's got good use to it still. Evidently, you weren't out there for them lessons. Oh, that's right. You was inside watching Dennis the Menace and Lassie. That's where you were at. And Gilligan! Yeah. I hate to break the news to you, Kevin, but a Roadrunner only runs 12 miles an hour. A Coyote can run 30. So all them cartoons you seen that Roadrunner outrunning that Coyote, it ain't true. I realize you're probably going to have to get yourself a little bucket of ice cream and a spoon and go sit in the corner someplace and just, think about it for a while. That's the truth. Yeah. Trying to help you out here. I did look at a couple of weeks ago. Guy had a ride-on sweeper. It had a 48-inch sweep pattern or whatever you want to call it. The only bad thing, it was electric, and I didn't want that. But that would be, I thought about doing that years ago, was buying a street sweeper or a small one and sweeping parking lots on the weekends and stuff like that when they're closed. You can make pretty decent money. I don't know about with today's economy, but 20 years ago you could have. I actually, years ago, I bought yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, that was you. Um, Years ago, I bought a real street sweeper. I bought one from Waste Management. It was in really nice shape, but it blowed the engine. So I bought it from Waste Management. Walked right in there to the office and said, "Hey, what do you got to have for that?" Because I was sitting out there along the building. He said, "I don't know. You can make me an offer." I said, "Well, scrap is like $30 a ton. I'll give you $50 for it." He said, "I'll take it." Now this is like 93, 94. So I give him $50 for it. About a week and a half later, I got sick. And I was off work for like 4 or 5 months. They didn't know what was going on with me. I could be going down the road and all of a sudden it'd feel like somebody just hit me in the chest with a baseball bat and I would keel over and almost pass out. Well, they didn't know what was going on. I had to have a heart cath. I had all sorts of MRIs done. I had the nuclear test done, a stress test. I had everything done. They come to find out that I had a whistling heart murmur and that there was some other stuff going on. I have an enlarged heart, but they didn't know what was causing, that to happen. So I had to go like 2 months without an episode before they'd let me go back to work. So by the time I got back to work, I went back down there and my street sweeper was gone. So I went back in the office and said, "Hey, where'd that street sweeper go?" He said, "Well, we tried to get a hold of you, but you weren't at work." And I said, "No, I was sick for the last 2 months." He said, "Well, the company come by, the head Fred's come by and said they wanted all this cleaned up. So we took it in and scrapped it." So, well, that's a fine how do you do. He said, here's your $50 back. But, I did buy it had an Intercontinental 3-cylinder engine in it. And I found an Intercontinental 3-cylinder. The Antique Tractor Club over here had one. And I was talking to Martin about it, and he said, "Yeah, I got one over there." He said, "You get that thing home, we'll put it in there." Well, hell, that was a good deal. I bought a 1965 state truck, Plymouth or Dodge. I bought that from Lake Erie Recycling. The guy's name was Kevin Little. And I talked to him. Said, "Hey, what do you got to have for that?" He said, "I'll take $500 for it." I said, "Okay." He said, "I'll tell you what. Being you're the garbage man here, you give me an extra dump every week for 2 months and I'll give it to you." I said, "Well, I can do that." So I went over there every month or every week. I'd give them an extra dump, and then I'd actually wait. And, if they had more, I'd dump more. Well, I probably got 2 or 3 extra dumps a week. Got it paid off. I was telling Kathy's uncle about it. He said, "Well, how much you want for it?" I said, "I don't know. Why don't you go over and look at it?" So we went down there. He looked at it. He popped the hood open. He hooked up the battery and got it running. He said, "This thing runs great." I said, "Yeah, that's what they told me. It runs good. It just needs a brake line put on it." He said, "I'll tell you what." I said, "What's that?" "I'll give you $1,200 for it." I said, "I'll take it." I said, "You got to haul it out of here." He said, "Ain't no problem." He got on the phone and called a wrecker from Adrian, had him come down there and pick it up. Took it to his house. I made money. He was happy, and he sold it before he even got it home. So, and I know he made money because he doesn't do nothing without making money. All the good old days when you could actually make money easy. You don't have to work so damn hard for it. There I am scraping, to make a dime. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, yeah, he has. He's been screwing family members for years. Yeah, the closer to kin, the deeper in. Yeah, he's actually not doing too good. I gotta get down there and see him too. But I don't want to go down and see anybody because I still got this bad cough from 3 months ago. I still can't get rid of it. I'm thinking I got whooping cough. So, but I gotta get down there and see him because he's not doing good. I have to go see Aunt Judy because she's not doing good. But if they knew how good I was doing, they'd come see me. Yeah. Just saying. Yeah, I know. I told him that story, Kevin, about the Buick I got from Mickey Sanford. Mickey Sanford, um, we were in the Monkey's Red Barn restaurant, and he come in and said, "You know anybody can put a windshield in?" I said, "Yeah, why?" "Well, I got a smashed windshield. I need a new window put in it, a windshield put in it." He said, "You know anybody can do it?" I said, "Yeah, I can do it." He said, "What do you charge me?" He said, "You buy the window and all the packing, and I'll do it for $50. Okay. Well, I cleaned the old windshield out. I sanded down the window rail, made sure everything was clean in there, put the packing in, put the new window in, and I put the trim on. About 2 weeks later, I seen Mickey at the restaurant again. He said, "Hey, anybody wants to buy a Buick?" I said, "Why? What's wrong with it now?" He said, "Well, I put a new distributor in it and I can't get it to run." I said, "You can't get it to run?" "No, it won't run." So what do you got to have for it? So I'll take $25 for it. That's what they're getting for scrap cars. But I'll be down there. I went down there and I had my dad with me. And we brought a tow rope. Went in there, grabbed the car, pulled it out of the driveway backwards. Then he got around the front of it. We tied it up and pulled it about a half a mile from the house and went around the corner. As soon as he did that, I took a distributor wrench, took the distributor out, spun her 180 degrees, put her back in, tightened her down, hit the key, started up, and I drove her home. All the good old days. I drove that car probably for, I don't know, 2 years. Yeah. They're the ones that bought your Pacer? Man, that was an ugly car. Damn ugly. They're worth money now. Hell, just the glass in them, if the glass is good, is worth money. All right, there, Dale, you have yourself a blessed night. We will see you Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard if you're so inclined to join me. I remember when I was working for the trucking company, we did all this, we hauled fluff. And I'm not kidding. In the fluff would be coils and coils and coils of copper wire where they would smash the living hell, they would grind or shred the car down, and the electric motors, the starter and the alternator and the the wiring in the wiper motor and all that other stuff would not always make it to the copper pile. It would get actually hung up into the shred, the fluff, and it would go in with the fluff. Well, on any given day in the landfill, walking around as you're backing your, back your truck up or whatever, as you're walking around your truck, it was nothing to find 2 or 3 pounds of copper a day, not just in one spot, one time, but a day. You had the toolbox on the side of your truck, you'd throw that in there. In a week's time, you'd have 15, 20 pounds of copper. Easy money. And that's when it was starting to be like $800 a ton for cars. So copper was way up there too. I can't remember what the price was, but it was way up there then. Easy money. All right, everybody, I got to get out of here. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care. Prayers and peace. And I will see you Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern if you're so inclined to join me. Have a blessed day, everybody, and a good weekend.